Hello participants. So, in this lecture I will be discussing about product prototyping. So, after concept generation it is very much important to know how to make a model or prototype. So, in this lecture I will be discussing about safety equipments required for prototyping, materials and processes, and through case studies I will be discussing product prototyping. So, let us discuss first what is a physical model and what is a prototype. So, a physical model is an object or set of objects that are fabricated from a variety of materials to approximate an aspect of how a product concept will perform. So, here you should keep in mind the fact that a physical model is made up of variety of material. Also, a model is a miniature representation. It can be a scaled down model of something or a pattern of something to be made or an example for imitation or emulsion. And prototype is an approximation of the product along one or more dimensions of interest. As stated by this definition, any entity exhibiting at least one attribute of the product that is of interest to the development team can be viewed as a prototype. So, even though prototyping and model making are different terms theoretically, but they are inherently same. Their main objective is same. So, they are trying to showcase your idea or concept to others. Let us see different types of prototype. First is proof of concept models. Some people call it mock-up models also. So, with different kind of material you can make it. For example, suppose you have a cylindrical portion, or for example, you have a wheel in your product. You can use any bottle cap to make wheel. So, readily available material can be used to make proof of concept model. The main objective of proof of concept model is to check whether the concept will work or not. Next is industrial design prototype. The main objective of industrial design prototype is to showcase the look and feel of the product. Next comes alpha prototype. So, alpha prototypes are fabricated using materials, geometry and layout that the design team believes will be used for the actual product. Alpha prototype may have some functional features. So, in making alpha prototype, actual manufacturing process may not be used, but actual material and the geometry will be used. Next is beta prototype. Beta prototypes are first full scale functional prototype of a product constructed from the actual material as the final prototype. They may not be necessarily be fabricated using the same manufacturing processes as the final product. Most of the time in beta prototype, plastic products are made through CNC milling or 3D printing. Now, I will be discussing about the health and safety equipments in prototyping. So, in this part you have to take care two things. One is material, the disadvantage of the material you have to keep in mind. For example, PU, polyurethane. While using polyurethane, you should keep in mind it has bad effect on body. So, similarly, while using other materials, you should keep in mind how it will affect your health. Now, let us discuss about the personal protective equipments. First thing is safety glasses. So, these are the safety glasses. So, when you wear, there will be some gap. So, the main objective of safety goggle is to protect from any kind of flying object. So, it will protect your eyes from any kind of dust particles which are flying on the shop floor. Next is dust mask. Dust mask is something like this. So, it has a silicon gasket and it protects from very fine particles. Next is respirators. There are many kind of respirators in the market. For example, you may have this kind of respirators. So, these are one time use, okay. You can use it like this. Second is this. This is slightly better because it has exhalation valve. This is called exhalation valve. So, it allows air to goes in and out. So, it is better than the previous one. Next is rubber gloves. So, rubber gloves are used when you are handling any kind of thick paste or any filler material during prototyping. Next is ear protection. So, while working on the shop floor, you may have lot of sounds. So, to protect your ears, you need this kind of ear muffs. So, you can wear it like this. Next is cotton gloves. So, cotton gloves are available. It helps, it protects your body from any kind of abrasion. Another kind of gloves is this. So, this kind of leather gloves helps you protect your hand from heat. And also, while working on the shop floor for prototyping, you should keep in mind what kind of clothing you should wear. You should not wear loose fitting clothes. You should also wear shoes while working in the shop floor. So, now I will be discussing about different hand tools for prototyping. First is cutting mat. It is very useful for cutting any kind of paper or foam board or thermocol. Next is needle file. Needle files are slightly smaller than the regular files. For when you are making a scale down model, you may need integrate details. That is why you need small files to give proper shape. Next is plier. You may need different kind of pliers while handling metal wires. Next is sandpapers. So, you may have different kind of sandpapers from grade 50 to 2500 or more than that also. When your sandpaper grade is smaller, that means it is very rough. If the grade of the sandpaper is more, for example 1200 or 1500, that means it is more fine and it is used for polishing. Next is measuring instruments. You may need measuring tape, vernier calipers and steel rules. And you also should have some cutting tools such as scalpel, scissor, industrial cutters. You also need different kind of hacksaws and quick action bar clamp and hammer and mallet. Now, I will be discussing about power tools which are stationary for prototyping. First one is lathe. In lathe machine, you can do this kind of operations like turning, facing, external grooving, drilling, boring, internal grooving, external threading, internal and external chamfering, parting, knurling, and so here I should mention that wood lathe is slightly different from metal lathe. So, this is the construction of the wood lathe. So, here the chuck is completely different than the metal lathe. This is the chuck of the metal lathe. Next power tool is sander. In sander there are two part, one is disc sander and another is the belt sander. So, now let us see how belt sander works. In belt sander, you can give form to thermocol, PU foam, and any other soft material such as plywood, wood, etc. So, now let us see how to use the disc sander. Next power tool for prototyping is EPS foam cutting machine. What is EPS? EPS is extended polystyrene. The common name is thermocol. So, let us see how it works. Another power tool is vacuum forming machine. So, the vacuum forming machine is very important in prototyping because it gives different kind of form to plastic materials. So, this is the mold. Now, we will place the high intensity plastic, that is HIP, on vacuum forming machine. The red part is heating part where hot air is blown. After some time we have to check whether it is soft or not. Now the mold is up and vacuum has been created, and the plastic has taken a shape of the mold. Next stationary tool is jigsaw machine. There are other power tools also which are useful. One is milling machine and the other one is drilling machine. For any kind of slot making, we use milling machine. For example, this kind of slot or V groove, we use milling machine. To make any kind of hole, we use drilling machine. Let us see some handheld power tools. One is hand drill, next is hot air gun, and then a router. So, let us see the use of hot air gun. So, with the help of heat, we make the plastic soft. Plastic. So, after cooling, the plastic takes the shape of the mold. There are other handheld power tools like power saw, shaping tools, sander. Now, I will be discussing about the materials. There are plethora of materials, but I will be only showing you those materials which are helpful for prototyping. For example, first one is thermocol. So, the industrial name is extended polystyrene, but most of the people call it thermocol. Okay. There are different kind of thermocol. Okay. One is high density, one is medium density and low density thermocol. You can see this one high density. The high density thermocol has very small granules and slightly harder to cut. Next is medium density thermocol. Medium density thermocol has slightly bigger granules and slightly softer in comparison to high density thermocol. So, you can also cut with cutters, you can send it on senders, you can get different kind of shape with thermocol. Next is low density. Low density thermocol you can just cut as straight lines or curved lines, but you cannot give organic form to this low density thermocol, because it is very soft. While sanding, the granules comes out. Next is polyurethane. Polyurethane is very useful material. You can use polyurethane with CNC milling. Within a closed chamber you can use polyurethane. Its density is more, and it is slightly harder than thermocol. You can give good form to it, and also it has good strength. Next very useful material is MDF, medium density fiber. So, you can get different kind of thickness in market, for example 5 mm to 8 mm, 25 mm and more, and you can give different kind of shape to it. It is also used as an alternative material to wood. Next material is foam board. Foam board is soft and you can cut with cutter, and easily you can break also. Next is high impact polystyrene. Here you can get different kind of thickness for this. It is slightly harder than foam board, and easily you cannot cut. You have to give multiple stroke on this, and then it is possible to cut. Sometimes if it is more thicker, you have to use hacksaw. Next material is particle board. So, most of the furnitures are made up of particle board. We also can use expanded polyethylene. So, expanded polyethylene is better than thermocol, because it does not generate granules, and because of that it is slightly better. So, you can get with different density, and you can check the density. If it is low density, then it is more porous, and if it is high density, then there is less holes and it is not porous. Another material is acrylic. It is transparent and can be used as alternative material to glass. We also can use aluminum sheet and mild steel sheet. We also use bamboos, but there are different kind of bamboos. One bamboo is solid, another is hollow. The solid one, the common name is conocase bamboo, and regular bamboos are hollow, and but the conocase bamboo is not hollow, it is completely solid. We also can use different kind of nylon bars with different kind of diameters. We can turn on lathe machine, we can directly also use it. We can definitely use wood. So, wood is used most of the time when the actual product is made up of wood. Because you cannot give actual texture of the wood by making with plastic. You can definitely try, but you will not get exact texture of the wood, but definitely you can make with plastic, and then on top of it you can take print out of similar wood like print, and you can paste on the surface of the plastic. We also can use metals like a mild steel bar or different sizes of aluminum bars. So, different cylindrical shape bars also available in market. We also can use plywoods, different thickness plywoods are available in market and you can use it. Another very useful material is GI wire. So, different thickness GI wires are available in market, you can see. Now, I will be discussing about adhesive and filler for prototyping. Commonly used adhesives are cyanoacrylate glue. In market, what we have in the form of Febiquick or super glue, and epoxy adhesive, where two parts are kept in a package, part A and part B. One is resin, another one is hardener. You have to mix both the material and use it. Another is polyvinyl acetate. We have very famous brand Febicol in market in this category, and we can fix paper, cloth, wood, plywood, MDF with Febicol. We can also use hot glue. With the help of hot gun we can use it. Next is glue stick. While sticking papers we can use it, and also synthetic rubber based adhesive. Any kind of plastic or rubber material can be joined with the help of rubber adhesive. Any kind of dent or any kind of corner you have to fill with materials with the filler. So, in the list of filler material we have acrylic wall putty, which we can use on top of thermocol, we can use it on top of PU also. Next is wood filler. We can use wood filler on top of MDF, plywood and wood, and next is polyester putty. It comes in the form of grey color and paste. So, it cannot be used on top of thermocol because it is you have to mix thinner with polyester putty, and if you apply polyester putty on top of thermocol, it will burn thermocol. So, while working with thermocol you have to put acrylic putties. So, now let us see different case studies. So, I will be showing these furnitures how, and I will discuss how we made it. So, the first one is Vitra Penton chair. So, to make this Penton chair, you can see the form of the chair. So, it is cantilever in its form, and also because it has extended part here and as well as here. So, it is very difficult to give form in vacuum forming machine. So, what we have to do is we have to make a mold, the negative of like this, and on top of that we have to use layer by layer of paper and Febicol, and in between we have to use GI wire, thin GI wire to give strength to it. So, in this particular model what we did, we have used tissue papers and Febicol initially, and on this rim we have used GI wire to give strength. Next is Karim Rashid's Vendome Vertex chair. So, this particular chair has geometric form, and because of that we used paper instead of other material, which will give the form easily. So, here we have used paper instead of other material. So, in this Ridwell chair we have used foam board. So, because it is easy to cut and most of the parts are in the form of bar, and it is easy to give foam board to this form. Next is micarta chair by Mark Newson. To make this we have used hot air gun. With the help of hot air gun, we have given form to the foam board initially in this form, and then on top of this we have used acrylic putty to give the thickness, and we got the desired shape. Next is before summer chair by Ron Herard. So, here you can see a complex form, it cannot be given by any other material. You because of the thickness constraint, you cannot give this form to thermocol also, and while working with PU also, it is, though it has good strength, but it is long extended both the in two sides. So, it is very difficult to give this kind of form to other material. So, hence we have used MDF and we have used jigsaw. On the top of MDF, we have marked the desired shape and we used jigsaw to cut the desired shape. Next is glass chair by Shiro Kuramata. So, as I have discussed, acrylic can be used as alternative material to glass. So, we have used acrylic to give this kind of form. So, acrylic is also plastic. So, hence we can give form this kind of bent and any other organic form also we can give on acrylic. We can use acrylic in vacuum forming also. So, in this particular case we have used hot gun and we have given this bends. Next is Royal Festival Hall chair by Robin Day. So, you can see this particular chair. So, here the top part has a round bend and we have created this with the help of hot gun, but instead of foam board we have used here styrene sheet, and for the cushion we have used sponge, and the for legs and other part we have used mild steel rods. So, apart from chair I have two other object. I will show you a shoe also. So, this is a model of the shoe. So, how we have created this? Can we create with high density thermocol? Yes, but slightly difficult because it has a hole here. So, while removing material it is slightly difficult, it may break. So, what can be used? So, in this particular case you have to use polyurethane foam. So, we have used polyurethane foam to create this kind of shoe model. So, I have a car also to show you. So, this car also was made with the help of polyurethane foam, because it has very organic form and very intricate details on the wheels and other parts you have to remove. So, you can use other material like high density thermocol also, but the problem will occur during painting. But you can solve this, everybody may not have polyurethane foam. So, if you are using thermocol, then what to do? So, first you get the desired shape and on top of this you give a layer of tissue paper with Fevicol, and then on top of it you apply acrylic putty, which will give you a good thickness and also protect your thermocol from paint, because when you apply paint on thermocol, thermocol will burn. So, your one layer of tissue paper and Fevicol will protect your thermocol from paint. Here we have discussed different materials, processes and some case studies, how we have created different chair and other product. So, thank you for listening this lecture.